Okay, so welcome to the site visit of Uppsala. I'm Carolina Wikström, General Secretary of Europon Sweden. And we would like to inform you all about that we will record this site visit and make a video which will be uploaded on Europon Europe's website. And if you have any questions, write them in the chat and Martin will collect them and ask them loud on one of the stops. So everyone who is participating physically in Uppsala will hear it. And if there are any questions from the person who is participating live, it's important that everyone who is participating digital hear the questions. And remember, all questions should be asked in English. And now we look very much forward to the site visit of Uppsala. And now I give the word to Uppsala to present yourself. Welcome.
Welcome. My name is Martin Edfeldt. I'm the city architect of Uppsala. So we'll be a little team here, and we're happy to see that you have come here and you who are attending on Zoom. Welcome to this walk through Gottsunda with possibilities to put your questions to us in the team. Will be one more person, the city center owner, Cecilia, who will attend soon. So we'll just present ourselves short, and then I'll tell a little about the site.
And my name is Andreas. Sorry? My name is Andreas Melén. I'm a main project manager for the Gottsunda project run by the municipality.
And my name is Amanda Lindstedt, and I'm also a project manager within the municipality group that works with the development of Gottsunda.
And behind the camera we have Elina Justusson, who might show up in pictures soon. Yeah. So you hear me? Good? This is okay? Yeah. So welcome to the site. So this is actually the starting point of the Gottsunda site, because the border is just here behind you. So what we see here is the parking lots of the Gottsunda Center and the center building, which is sort of the heart of the competition site. We'll hear a lot about the ongoing plans, and we'll hear a lot about the what's included. But just a brief summary of the project. What we want to do is to develop this area with 600 new more housing units. And this might seem a bit crowded, but we actually tested. It's possible to fit them in on this area, which of course takes a solution for the cars. And we have a sketch for that, which is possible to upload from the site. And Andreas will also tell more about this site. It's actually moving the entrance to over here. So besides the 600 housing units, we want to develop the center together with Hemmaplan, the city owner who will attend Zoom. And of course, we want this center to open up, to communicate more with the surroundings. We want it to be, it is actually a place where people really meet. I mean, it's commerce, it's culture, it's sports, and it's a meeting place. But we also want to move this meeting place to the outside. And we'll have some public spaces, some squares. There is one square down by the church, and there is a new one planned behind. We'll see that soon. And we want to connect these squares, and we want to develop green public space, which will be connected also to the surrounding. We have extensive parks and nature areas just close by here. It's not so easy to see when you're here, but we'll have a walk also within this tour. Just little words about Gottsunda. This is often called the southern heart of Uppsala. Uppsala city center is about 6 kilometers from here to the north. and we'll have a new tramway that will connect the city center to Gottsunda. And the tramway will run through the center behind us here. We'll see more of that later. And it will go to a new station on the railway line between Stockholm Arlanda and Uppsala. And this tram is actually under construction right now. So we're taking down some trees, we're moving pipes in the ground to make place for the new subway. And it's about to open at 2029. So this is actually happening right now. And here is Cecilia. So I'll just finish 1 minute and then I will hand over to Cecilia. We want this area to be, of course, a lively area. It is in summer in many ways. There's a lot of culture, a lot of sports. There's a lot of housing around this center. And this center is not only for the people living in Gottsunda. It has a much bigger land that Cecilia also will talk about. I'll also tell just a little about the what's included in the task. It's also to develop the center with a new facilities inside the swimming hall, existing swimming hall, because we're planning to build a new swimming hall beside the corner on the north side of the center. Just a little about my vision. We want your visions, but my vision is that this should be as attractive as Uppsala Center when it comes to what is planned on the ground, the houses, and the city center. But we also want the existing cultural heritage to sort of be part of the design. So the question is how to develop housing that is taking inspiration from the existing area, from the green areas, from what was planned during the Million Program in the 60s and 70s, the qualities of that. So we don't lose the qualities in the existing. But of course, we also want new housing units, and these housing units should attract the people living here, making it possible to sort of make a career in your housing situation, but also to attract new inhabitants to Gottsunda, people from Uppsala or moving to Uppsala for one or another reason. We have 2 large universities. We have a lot of industries within medical and healthcare industry, for example, which also gives more commerce and more public needs. So I would really like to say a little more about Uppsala, but I think you should study the program and study the movie to get. It's important to get the idea of what Uppsala is like, but also what Gottsunda is like, and how could we join this so that this is really the developing even more to the southern heart of Uppsala. So we look forward to seeing your proposals, and you will have the possibilities to tell questions. We will all be here during the whole day, so we'll share this. And now I'll leave the word to Cecilia, and you have to present yourself, and you talk in this mic. Yeah.
Thank you. So I don't need that? No? So hi everyone, and hi everyone. I'm Cecilia Safai, the CEO of Hemmaplan, at home in English, the real estate company owning Gottsunda Center since roughly 3 years. We are a real estate company working through real estate to drive social impact. So our ambition is to use the commercial city center not only as the place you go to for your daily grocery shopping, but rather as a central meeting place for the community, the local community, filled with culture, recreation, natural spaces for you to meet family and friends, neighbors, but also a meeting place for the entire city. So a place where you can find something that you don't find anywhere else in Uppsala. And through that, we also drive local entrepreneurship. We promote local businesses to grow. By doing so, we also create a lot of work opportunities for people in the area, where we also have a work program where people from the area that have experience, they have competencies, and could jump into whatever workplace, but they don't have the social networks to get those opportunities. We have a program where we basically connect people looking for work with our tenants within the center, where we on an annual basis create 100 job opportunities. And the vast majority of those are long-term opportunities, so long-term employment. By doing so, we also improve the socioeconomic conditions in the area, so that, as Martin said, we invite people to grow and not leave Gottsunda for better opportunities, but actually stay here and take up those opportunities that are presented to them here. And most importantly, being part of shaping those opportunities. So we work in a participatory, inclusive way with the development of the center. Among other things, we have a demographic panel that shapes our strategy for developing the center, which is made up of the demographic constitution in the area. So the amount of women, men, etc., that lives here, the different age groups, etc., different ethnic groups, multi-ethnic backgrounds. So in this panel, we have around 1,000 people, which is then also scientifically validating the input that we get from this panel that shape and give us feedback on the development of the center. We also work, as we're here on a daily basis, we're very present, and by being present, we can also get a lot of input and influence in the development of the center, but also of the surrounding areas by simply being present and listening in. And enabling people to come forth with ideas, proposals, and feedback. So with that said, Gottsunda is kind of isolated in its demographics, but also in its relation to the surrounding city. And by being part of this development and with this competition, one of the main tasks is to connect Gottsunda to Greater Uppsala, to connect Gottsunda to the green areas surrounding it, and enhance the proximity to these green spaces and to the rest of Uppsala city. Sorry, I'm crying here in the wind. By doing so, we can also break the barriers that today create segregation. By inviting people from all over the city and exciting people from all over the city, we can break those socioeconomic boundaries that today create segregated and isolated areas within the city. To do so, we need to, as Martin already said, we need an attractive city center, we need an attractive area. But what's attractive lies in the eyes of the spectator, right? Lies in the eyes of the community and the people that come to visit. So even when doing so, we need to do that in a participatory and inclusive way. And here we have found strategic aspects that we work with, such as culture, such as food, that irrespective of where you come from, you need it and you love it, or you have an opinion about it. So it creates natural, meaningful ways that people can connect with each other, breaking down these socioeconomic barriers. And with that said, I think it's time to move on. So as you can see, Gottsunda Center is really at the center of Gottsunda. It's a 320-meter long center. So it really connects north and southern Gottsunda, and will be connected to the greater city of Uppsala through the tramway that Amanda and Andreas will talk more about as we move on.
And we're just going to move. Thank you. Thank you, Cecilia. And we're just moving 30 meters to the north from here. So not that far.
So very sunny. Welcome to the square, today's square of Gottsunda. So we already gave you some context, but this is a very classically planned 1960s, 1970s city district here in Uppsala. And it has around 13,000 inhabitants and is located a bit more than 6 kilometers southwest from the Uppsala center. And here, the buildings are quite high, mostly apartment buildings. But in the whole Gottsunda area, there is also small houses and detached houses, but they're quite clustered. So they are more in the outskirts. So there's a big variation within the whole Gottsunda, but it's quite clustered within. But there also are several planning processes ongoing, zoning and the comprehensive plans, which Gottsunda includes. And where we're standing right now, it's going to transform to the new public swim bath. And the square will be moved a bit further down here. And this big road here is called the Gottsunda Allé, which is going to be transformed to the new tramway boulevard, or at least a tramway street. So all the zoning processes are right. The ongoing zoning processes are here, the north side of this Gottsunda Allé, and it's almost like infill projects because the Gottsunda Allé is going to get wider, and then we want to profit and make it more urban. So we're going to plan for more apartment buildings and more housing units. And the whole long-term Gottsunda urban development project it's going to be ongoing until 2050, and it includes 5,000 new housing units. But the ongoing zoning plans here and on this side, as well as the project site, is around 2,000 housing units. And I think that's about it for me.
Thank you. And the local authorities are planning for this new tramway. It will start at the Uppsala train station, and via Gottsunda, it will go to a commuter train station in Bergsbrunna. And as Amanda mentioned, it will come from north at Hugallvensväg, do a left turn and move forward to Bergsbrunna in that direction. And the platform will be just behind me, which means this will be one of 5 new hubs in Uppsala. Uppsala municipality is planning for 5 hubs, like Gottsunda, with really good service and local transport system. As Martin mentioned, the tramway project already started. So actually with pre-construction work, like moving trees, moving pipes, and that kind of construction work. So people living in Gottsunda already realize, they can already see what's happening. We're also planning for this new indoor swimming pool right here. So it will be twice as large as the existing swimming pool, and of course, with this location, it will be a good service for more people than for more people in Uppsala than just living in Gothenburg. Yeah, I think that was all for this. The park will be moved. So actually, I think the facade for the swimming pool will be right here. Maybe like 5 meters in that direction. And the square will be here in that direction. Yeah. And the existing parking lot will be part of it will be a square and part of it will be a building. Yeah. The next stop is like 100 meters south. And just on the other side of the large parking plot. Yeah, let's walk.
Jaha. Det var hemskt. Ja, men det var hemskt. Åh, nej, jag såg också på...
All right. We're now going to talk about the parking plot and the building just behind me. This is possible. This is a part of the competition area that is possible to use in many different ways. We want your creative, works to work with this. This building, we realize that this building will be demolished, the one-story building. But please think about to reduce the building material when when explaining that. The two-story building, it's actually connected to the two-story building just behind it, and that building is up to you to decide what you want to do with that. It's possible to rebuild it. It's possible to demolish it, but it's up to you. And this area here we plan for building new homes. It's really important for the city center to have parking plots for their customers, of course. So it's an equation or something you have to. It's something you have to put together. Yeah. You want to?
Yeah, I can fill in. So as we said before, we're counting on about 600 new housing units, and it's a rather waste parking lot. And there is also possibilities which we write in the program that you could develop the center with integrated housing units. If we turn around, we can see the office building that was constructed on top of the city center, where actually Hemmaplan have their office right now, and other facilities as well. So it's up to you to decide where to put the housing units. I just want to fill in also that when we build housing in Uppsala, we want green outdoor spaces, terraces, or courtyards, green courtyards. And we also want you to design a preschool within the plot, within the site. Yeah. So yeah.
Martin, did you see we got the question?
And for us also as the center owners, it's important that any housing unit that you think about the scale. So as Amanda already said, most buildings in this area are high-rise buildings. And we would like the scale of the housing to be balanced so that the center and any housing units planned can also interact with each other, and that the terraces or green courtyards can also be used in parallel with the outdoor seating areas that we have throughout the center facade.
Martin, we got the first question.
All right, we have one question from Zoom.
Yes, where does the number 600 come from in terms of density?
Yeah, where does the 600 number come from in terms of density? Maybe Andreas, you could answer that.
We've done a study on this area, so that's where we got the figure 600 from. Yeah, it's also part of a greater planning for this part of Uppsala municipalities. So it's yeah.
Yeah, we have a deal, the Uppsala municipality together with the region and the state, of financing the tramway and also the railway between two more tracks between Stockholm and Uppsala. And within this deal, our obligation is to plan for about 5,000 new housing units within the Gottsunda area, which you talked about. And 600 of them need to be within this site. Otherwise, we cannot fill our part of the deal. So that's why. But as Cecilia said, the number is not the most important. The quality is the most important. The scale and the livability. and also affordability, of course. We need new housing units. We have mainly rented flats here. We want you to develop also own flats or collective flats or other kinds of housing that which you can read more about also within the competition task.
And an important aspect when listening into the people in this area that already live here, what they lack is bigger apartments. So there are many opportunities for small apartments, but when your family grows, there is people have difficulties in finding housing within the area, even if they want to stay. So larger apartments is also something that this area today lack. So maybe
repeat the question.
Yeah, so if we can specify what greater apartments, what that actually means. So with 3, 4, 5 rooms, 3 to 5 room apartments, and the size of the apartment is perhaps not the most important, but the number of rooms, so that children can have their own rooms and parents can have their own rooms and so forth. So the number of rooms is more important than the actual size, although of course you can't fit 5 rooms into a 1-room apartment. So of course size matters as well.
The Gottsunda area is built during the Million Program period, just the 1970s, and 2 and 3 room apartments was most of the apartments building during that area was 2 and 3 rooms apartments. So we need something else in Gottsunda actually. Yeah.
Maybe I should just emphasize that again. Since there are a lot of rentals, we need the possibility to own your own flat, but also alternative ways of owning and buying your flat or constructing by yourself. And we also need smaller apartments. We have a lot of students in Uppsala, so bigger and smaller.
So the next stop is another 50 meters behind me to the south, to the church. Yeah.
Eller om du säger det.
Jag hade tänkt.
Ja, du säger det. Okej. Vad är det som växte?
So this is the Gottsunda Church, Gottsunda kyrkan, which was built 1980s by the architect Carl Nyrén. And this is quite a unique church with the pink wood facade, and it's very appreciated both in Uppsala but also in Gottsunda. And also the church as a meeting point for the ones who lives in Gottsunda. It's a very important place. So even if this is not included in the project site, it's something that you need to really have in mind, and to think about the sight lines to the church bell tower. It needs to be considered, and also the connections between the statue and that you don't see now, but it's behind this, and the church building itself. So it has a high cultural and historical value. So this is something that you need to think about. And now I hand over to Cecilia.
And it's also, as Amanda said, but it can be emphasized, is of great social importance as a meeting place, connecting people from a variety of Christian faiths. Just to also point out, as we walked here, for you that walked, it was very striking that it was not built for walking. So we also need to think about how, when developing this site, how we also enable walkways for people by foot or by bike from all directions. So on the side of the center, we have already made that change by creating a bike lane, taking away some of the parking lot and creating a bikeway to also separate pedestrians from the bike lane, as this is also an area where many people go by scooter and go in high velocities. So that's also something to think about, how a bike lane can also be adapted to not allow too high velocity. Whereas the pedestrian part is concerned, we have transformed the 320-meter long center facade to outdoor seating areas, which you can't see now because we're just putting them out for spring. But we have green seating areas throughout these 320 meters. You can read more about that in the program. And here we also see opportunities to invite even more green in the form of maybe urban farming or more flowers and visually appealing green, and also to separate the pedestrian lane from the parking spaces. And to emphasize also that parking spaces as a commercial city center is still of vast importance. For the main tenants that we have, the bigger tenants in the city center, or the Gottsunda Center, we need to be able to provide 350 parking spaces. So that's something that we need to bear in mind. And that is also of great importance to enable us to break these socioeconomic barriers that today exist. Because many people that come from other areas of Uppsala, of course, many will come by tram once that is in place, but many also come by car. So parking spaces not only serve as a facility, but also serve as a cultural enabler to break the socioeconomic barriers and the segregated aspects of Gottsunda today with the surrounding areas. So that's also very important to keep in mind.
So we continue southward.
Right. The white building is a modular building, so it's movable. And it's actually a temporary building permit for it, so it will be removed from this place. The one-story building will be demolished. It's part of the old school. This plot is a quite important part of the structure for the new Gottsunda center area. It's connect the residential areas just east of this plot, and it's possible to connect the city center with the residential areas. Dead end streets are part of the Million program, the structure for the Million program areas. And just behind us, it was two dead end streets, and the municipality recently connected them to each other. We think that it's good for the area to do so. It's easier for people to transport each other, to move. So if you look at the map, you can realize that it was two dead end streets, but it's not so anymore. Now we're going for a walk to Gottsunda-Jeepen. It's about 10 minutes. So we will mute.
Maybe something happens.
Sorry.
So we on the other side here, we have the current indoor swimming pool, Gottsunda-badet, so the Gottsunda swimming pool. It is in need of renovation if it is to be maintained as a swimming pool. Both the roof needs, you need a new roof, and even more so, you need to look at the actual construction of the pool, the basin, where concrete renovation is needed if it is to be continued use as a swimming pool. However, as you've heard, the municipality is planning for a new swimming pool twice the size. So the question then comes, what are we to do with this part of the city center? It is connected to the city center and to the developing cultural house that we will talk more about later. It doesn't have to be, but the question is what use we could find in this part of the building. Could it be the region's best hammam, maybe, or could it be something completely else? What we find important is that we build something that is of meaning to the local community while also exciting people from all over the city. So building on the heritage of this community, building on the identity of this community, while making sure that whatever use you suggest, it provides natural space for people to meet and primarily meet also outside of this community only. So a use that also enables people to want to come here from other parts of the city, while the emphasis is still on creating meeting places for the local community.
Thank you. So now we're going for a walk, and we will mute the microphone. So see you in like 7 or 8 minutes.
Martin, we have another question in the chat.
I have another question. Could you read it to me?
Yes. You mentioned that you're planning for 350 parking spaces, but only 200 are included in the program. Are the remaining 150 part of the mobility hub, or did I mishear the numbers?
It's the number for parking spaces. It said 350, but then there are 200 in the program. So where are the remaining 150? Could you take that, Amanda?
Yeah, it was you, Cecilia, that said 350, right? Because normally it's the program that we are going to follow.
Yeah.
So the 350 parking lots, that is if we want to maintain the center and the tenants within the center, and especially the big ones, which we do. Without them, it would be very difficult to have a center. So the 350 parking lots need to be within the center, walking distance.
Yeah.
But as a municipality, we also use the numbers of what we want to, the goals we have for mobility and for traffic. So the goal is that we will take the tram sometimes. But of course, this is something that we need to have a dialogue with. And no one is going to get diskad out of the competition if you have 201. Yeah. And so on. Yeah.
We will also, on our way back, talk about the mobility hub and the plans for that, which would also enable more parking lots within the center that would not be on the parking lot that we walked past. So the 350 don't need to be exactly where they are today. But as a center, we need them, even though, of course, the goal for the municipality is for people to use the tramway and more environmental friendly ways of commuting to the center.
And just to complete, for the housing, it's possible to share parking between the commerce and the housing.
Yeah.
In some extent, at least, yeah. Some parking might need to be also in the southern part of the area, it depends on where you put
the housing.
The housing, yeah. But the center, of course, needs its parking. So, yeah.
Okay. It's okay to move on? Yeah. Okay, so now we're here in Gottsunda Jeepen, and it's one of the most, housing close to the civilization recreation areas in Uppsala. It's very appreciated, and it's the nature types come from it's a side valley from the Hågaån, the river of Håga, and it goes down southward. And it has paths like hiking paths and ski tracks and football fields and just green fields, and also community gardens, several community gardens with a lot of plants from all over the world. And it's if you ask someone who lives in Gottsunda, this is often something that is highlighted and appreciated, and something that now we walked maybe for 7 minutes, but it's a very good quality to live this close, walking distance from your home. So this is something that we want to strengthen in connection from the quite a what do you call it? Like just a shopping center that is this close to this wonderful and beautiful recreation area. Do you want to say something, Cecilia?
And speaking of how close this is and how vast this green area and recreation area is, can they still hear me? I might have pressed something. It's all good? They still hear me? Yeah, great.
Very well.
I didn't press
Very
anything. So often when real estate brokers for private real estate, so they make lists of what people like, what makes an area popular. Gottsunda actually checks all the boxes on those lists, and a big part of that is the connection with all of this recreation and green areas, and also the water that is also quite close, and that you can see in the aerial photo that you find on the project website. And to make the connection with the center also provides a lot of opportunities for the urban farming that we have already initiated at the center, to connect that with the community gardens here in Gottsunda Jeepen. So we already have initiated partnerships with the associations that run the community gardens here, where they will actually use one of our vacant shops in the mall as a greenhouse. And we're also building a new greenhouse outside of the commercial center. And on the back, we have initiated an urban farm that has the potential to grow, and that could also lead to connections, further connections between this recreational area and the community gardens with the commercial city center, where the produce from the community gardens and the urban farming could also be sold or cultivated in the restaurants and cafes.
Okay, so then we head back. We go the same way, and then we stop by the new high school that I think that you saw. And if you have any questions, of course.
Just
Can we just have a sound check? We have switched the microphone. Good, thank you. First of all, do we have questions from you here in Gothenburg? So don't hesitate to ask us. This is the new school in Gothenburg. It's from year 1 up to year 9. We can call it high school. It's designed for about 700 people. Actually, the old school burned down a year ago. It's just behind us. And the municipality immediately started the zoning process for a new school. And it was up and running August last year. So for us, for the process, the zoning process and the design process and construction process, this is a real, the 5 years is a really good time process. We're proud of it because school is always important, and I should say especially in Gothenburg. It has a sport profile, so it's kids from other parts of Uppsala comes here as well. This is also the border for the competition area, which is to the north from here.
And just say some more about the school. The school also contains facilities for sports and leisure, which are open outside the opening of the school. So the school is really an important part in this local society with its school function, but also sports and leisure and cultural function. Now, we stand here, I just want to remind you that this is the southern border of the competition area. Now we're actually looking outside the so this walking and biking trail and bus road is the border, and the competition area starts from here. And it's just good to note that the school is sort of the southern hub this area, which you also says, Cecilia. And then you have this stretch and the church with this important road, and then within the center we have, besides commerce, and we have culture and a lot of other facilities. Really, together they play an important role in this society.
Martin, the sound was better before. Something happened when you changed.
Right. So what we see here is the current cultural house, which is actually simply at today's measures, it's basically cultural tenants in the center in one part of the center. So it's not really a cultural house. However, together with the municipality, which is also the tenant for the entire cultural house, we're going to develop it over the next couple of years so that in 2029 we will have a brand new cultural house and hub, cultural hub for the entire Uppsala region, where we will be able to host both non-profit but also commercial plays and dance performances in a big stage amounting to around 300 to 500 spectators. So the vision is for this to not only be a local cultural house as today, but also inviting people from Uppsala and even Stockholm for the quality of performances. And we will enter the center and walk through it. So you'll see where the cultural house will be developed. And then we step out on the other side for the urban farm. So today, the cultural tenants that we have in the center amounts to around 3,500 square meters. It will be almost 4,500 once remade. We have a library today in 2 stores. It will be modeled in 1 floor. It's a very important social meeting place. More than half of our visitors to the center with a foreign background, they visit the library every time that they visit the center. We also have Gotland Dansteater, the dance and theater, house to both youth activities, so boys and girls groups, but also to very high quality performances. So this today is quite anonymous and will be opened up so that this will be part of the main, it will basically be the main center stage, not only for the dance and theater, but for the entire cultural house. Here we also have a cultural hub, and we also have a lot of associations and cultural activities like ateliers, that will be moved to a new building, which is actually not new. It's from the 70s, but we're refurbishing it so that we can reuse it, that we will see. But as you can see here, we've already started to empty some of some of the square meters here to make room for the cultural center. So if we continue walking. So here you also see how it will very easily connect with the rest of the center, which is also key in the development of the cultural hub in this location, allowing for the cultural hub to be very accessible on an everyday basis for children and youth and the everyday community of Gotland. here is also an example of the level of reuse that we want you to adapt in the program. So all of these benches that you see, they're here temporarily before going into the entire center. These are old doors from an old health clinic that was housed in the building that we're now on our way to, that we're reusing as a cultural and education center. So all of these are doors that don't classify, they don't meet the modern day classification for doors, for the sound levels and so forth. So we've instead made benches out of them to create more social areas within the center. So it both reuses material, so diminishing our carbon footprint while taking care of what we already have, which for financial sustainability is of great importance, while also then transforming into social meeting places, enabling us to work with social sustainability at the same time. And they're really comfortable too, if you want to try it. Quite want to try it. So we come out to the sunny side again. Behind us, we have Uppsala Hem's apartments. These are brand newly refurbished and will be people will be moving in already in August, June, July, August this year. And interesting to note for you as competitors is that these refurbished apartments have had no issue whatsoever in renting them out, even though the rents are much higher. Yeah. I was looking for a more nuanced word, but they're much higher than in other parts of the area. And that's been of no concern whatsoever. So they're fully rented out already, and people will be moving in. And together with Uppsala Hem, which is the municipal housing owner and the largest housing owner within Uppsala as well, we are jointly working on developing the outdoor area here with a park and urban farming. As you see, we've already started. It's a very modest urban farm today. These plant schools here, as you can see, but that we are going to increase in amount this year, while look for a specific site where we can have a permanent urban farm, be it here outdoors, be it on the roof, be it both, be it inside. We want more urban farming. And we want to connect that with the community gardens, as I was talking about earlier. So this square that will be developed here, it will also host a makeshift stage for cultural performances close to the cultural house, but also very close to what we call the growth hub, Tillväxthuset. So the house, the building that you see here in the back, it is part of it's under our ownership. It's an old health clinic, Vårdcentral, that was built in the 70s, and it was actually described as a building to be demolished. However, we've refurbished it, or we are refurbishing it as we speak, and here we will house one of Uppsala's first folk schools, folkhögskolor. So you could say it's a college in terms of level of education, where people that do not meet the prerequisites for formal higher education can acquire those prerequisites and continue to study at university. But it's also a very generous form of education where you can do cultural programs and other programs as well. Apart from the folk school, we will also have training centers for life science technicians, medical opticians, and similar. So medical secretaries and similar. They will be housed in the third floor, and the entire bottom floor will be filled with cultural and sports activities. So part of the cultural house will be moved into the growth hub, where children and youth can come and try different forms of culture, everything from playing instruments, singing, dancing, to boxing and other sports, but also painting and creative activities housed by the cultural center, but also local associations, such as the local boxing club. This allows for children and youth to, on a daily basis, be exposed to higher education, so that we make a pathway to growth for children at a very early age throughout adolescence. And with the folk school, we also envision that we will have a lot of people commuting here to take part of that education, not only from Uppsala, but from other cities as well, like Eskilstuna, Västerås, Enköping. So this will not be the back of the center, as it very obviously is today, but will actually become a cultural hub with the cultural house on one end and the growth hub on the other. And with also the housing units here getting their own little plots, gardens, green courtyards. This will be a really nice area in just about a year. And the folk school is opening in August this year. So everything here this is already happening, and it's basically for you to enhance and develop further in your proposals. But everything that I've been talking about now is already happening as we speak.
Yes, I can just complete a little. This lower house between here, between the Uppsala Ham and the Folk High School, this is planned to be demolished.
Exactly.
And it's outside the competition area, but this square will be connected to this free space between the buildings.
Yeah, it will be kept open, and it will open up to the entire housing area here behind the center, where we have quite a large amount of housing. So they can today not really connect walkway to the center, but opening up this area will create very natural pathways to both the cultural house and the center.
And the square here and the square on the other side of the church, this facade is very important. You envision this to be more open than today.
Definitely, and for the culture to flow out, both on this side and on the other side, connecting the two squares, with the cultural house as the main actor or stakeholder in this development. So of course it will be down to what activities and what content is produced from the cultural house, both the high-end performances as well as the kids clubs. But we envision that when you look at the center from this square or that square, you will really see a cultural house with openings that are opening not to the center, but to the and for that to be open perhaps in other ways than what we have today. And that also requires that other openings to the center open, as these will be destined for the cultural house.
Yes, sound is back. Hello. So now we walked, as you saw, the eastern part of the center, which is really much more a backside today. And of course, in the vision task, it's up to you to develop this so that the central building will look at back sides and front sides. It's a little bit more about the concept, but I think it's just to say that you saw the entrance of the we walked through the passage to the cultural center, and then we walked past this street arch. Things that have been done to develop this. Maybe demolishing of the lower building that we saw, it will be much more connected to the surrounding housing areas, which is the most back side of the continue.
So, as Martin said, this is really the back end of the back side. Here we have all of the logistics taking place. So we have 24-meter freight trucks coming in to offload groceries and so forth. And this we require for the center to function. However, it really disallows for social areas and this becoming a front side. So what we have in mind is that all of this could be decked in so that all logistics can take place, but that you can see it from the outside. And it could be possible to do that in a human scale with maybe wood paneled facade. And what we're also exploring together with the municipality is for a mobility house to be built on top. So we're exploring right now a three-floor mobility and parking lot on top of the logistics hub, which would allow for all of the future housing being built to use the mobility hub for parking for people living in the area, while we can also still provide all of the parking lots we need like our tenants, etc., allowing for people to come and shop groceries, etc., from all over the city. And this is something that we are exploring right now. This is not part of the competition task, but it is something that you need to take into consideration. How will then the flow of people do the folks work from the tramway, for example? How can we here provide a park and pedestrian lanes to allow for those kind of movements? But also, how will then the traffic situation look like? From the tramway and from the streets leading into Gottsunda, both for the logistics, but also for the private individuals who will come with their cars into the mobility. So all of that puzzle, you will need to take into consideration when defining your. And I think if we continue walking, and you will see the connection to where we actually started today. So let's continue.
Martin, the sound has been a bit worse now lately. So if you can tell everyone to talk close to the microphone.
So where we stand now would be the entrance to the proposed new mobility hub. You can in the program, the competition program, you can find some images showcasing how this could look like.
Yes, and just as Cecilia already told, this is not an obvious entrance today, but hopefully this can change in the future. And even if the hub itself is not included in the competition task, this area is still included, and also this intersection is not included, but it's obviously very important to connect to something. So today this is Valthornsvägen, and today there is it's only open for bus traffic and to like goods delivery. And in the future, the main bus stop will be moved to the Gottsunda Allé, where the tramway stop will be. So this might be able to evaluate to make something like a shared space solution where we promote visitors and people lives here by foot or by bicycle. And we would develop this way among the center. So this is something that we really want you to think about and to consider and study the flow from the different aspects. And we also created a small framework, a transport and mobility framework for you that you can download together with the program. So please study that if you're, I think that would be a good idea to study it. Do we want to have any final words?
I think if you have any more questions, you have visited, you're welcome. And no, I think I will just film around a little here, so we just see where we are now, the center, and the entrance to the mobility, and the back side. So with that, I think we say thank you for participating. Actually, no more questions in the chat, and from Uppsala municipality and from wish you good luck with your proposals, and we look forward to seeing your proposals. And don't hesitate to pose any questions to the competition, if you wish. So good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uppsala.